Hey, my name is James Cooley. We're going to give you a little walkthrough here of one of our 23-foot RVs. A lot of the RVs will be similar in use, but we'll show you how most of this works. First thing you're going to do is show up to your RV. There's going to be a lockbox by the front door. The combination is just going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes you got to give the bottom of the faceplate just a little lift, push down on the black button, the keys should pop out for you. One of these purple keys goes to each door if there's more than one. We got a little silver key here. It's going to go to your small storage compartments. Sometimes we store a broom in the storage compartments up front, so feel free to check that, or if you need any extra storage. So I'm going to grab one of the purple keys here. I'm going to unlock just the deadbolt, which is the bottom of these two locks here. That should pop the door open for you. Also, feel free to toss the keys in the lockbox when you guys are finished up. Our checkout time is technically 10 a.m. and you can toss the keys in the lockbox, and we do not need to be here for you guys to take off on your own. So we can go ahead and hop in here. Alright, first thing to notice is there's going to be a handful of light switches up here on the side of the cabinet typically. Most of them are in this location. If not, look around the unit. There's going to be a handful of light switches. One of which here is going to run most of these main cabin lights. Notice there's a switch on every light itself as well. Just keep in mind there's more than one light switch to some of these lights, so if you're having issues, come over here and look for another light switch. Another useful thing to point out is there's on some of these units there's two blue light switches. One is going to control an LED light underneath your awning. It's a little hard to see in the daytime, but at nighttime you'll really notice it. And it does work a little bit better if you roll the awning out just a couple inches, even just 3 inches. It shadows that light at night. Also, to roll the awning out, you're just going to look for an awning extend and retract button, and we're just going to hold down the awning extend. A couple things to point out with the awnings is you are responsible for them. Just keep that in mind, especially if there's any heavy wind, weather, rain, snow, etc. Any reason that thing can bend, rip, tear, or break. It is your responsibility. Also, I stop rolling it out as soon as the tube turns white. There's a little flap that starts to hang. If you go any further out, it's just more prone to bending and breaking, and like I said, it is your responsibility. So I usually roll it back in before I'm finished up, but feel free to use those awnings. Light switches off. We got a little stereo here. There is inside and outside speakers. They are different. And you can turn them on and off individually. On this particular stereo it says zone 1, zone 2. Just pop those buttons on or off. Also, if you want to Bluetooth your phone, there's a Bluetooth button here. Hook it up on your phone, and then when your phone asks, the combination will be all zeros. On a lot of these units, with a fireplace anyways, there's a little hidden light switch down here. It's a little tough to find if you don't know to look for it. But you do have to pick between your microwave and your fireplace. So just come flip this switch up for microwave and usually down for fireplace. But just know that that switch exists because it's a little tricky sometimes. Let's go to the stove back here. Make sure you flip the glass back out of the way. You don't want to cook on top of it because it is expensive when you shatter that glass. But to light up the stove, all we're going to do is we're going to crack a gas valve here. I'm going to click the sparker on the left a few times, and that should light up the stove for you. If you choose to use the oven, it is a little bit more difficult to light. We're going to go to the pilot position, or a little flame position here. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to hold this down with my right hand, and if you look underneath this bottom shelf, there's a pilot light that we're actually going to manually light with this clicker. Some of these you actually need a lighter to light. I'm going to continue holding it with my right hand. It does take a few seconds to get lit, and then you'll see this little small pilot light back there. Continue to hold it with your right hand for 5 or 10 seconds, and then you should be able to let go and pick your temperature, and the oven should fire up for you guys. And then whenever you're finished up, you can just turn this knob all the way on the right to the off position. The refrigerator should be set in the proper position for you. There is a couple little buttons. There's an on-off switch. There's another button that says auto, check, and gas. So we typically set those in the right positions for you guys. And give it a little time if your fridge isn't all the way cold yet. Typically they are running when we deliver them, and they will get cold. Give it a couple hours before you call us and let us know that it's not working, because they sometimes take a little while to catch up, especially if you load it with a bunch of warm groceries. That's the biggest issue. The top one is a freezer, the bottom one is a refrigerator. Some of them have different little latches. This one's pretty easy to open and close. The microwave's relatively straightforward, just like your house. Just pop your food in there and pick your time, and then hit the start button. It should fire up for you. Double check the switch that I pointed out earlier in the video if you're having issues. Thermostat back here, it's gonna be pretty straightforward. It's just like your house. You got fan, cool, and heat. The one little trick to point out is I always leave the fan mode on auto. That can eliminate some annoying fans down the road, but if you just leave the fan mode on auto, not high or low, that'll solve the problem for you. Other than that, just cycle to cool or heat and pick your temperature. It should hold a good temperature for you guys. The toilet back here. If you notice, there's a little foot pedal. Just crack the foot pedal just slightly down. It should fill the bowl up. If you push it all the way down, it dumps it. If you're using toilet paper in this, make sure you run a good amount of water through it, as occasionally things get backed up right inside of the toilet itself. You need to flush it all the way down into the tank beneath. I also have some RV specific toilet paper in here for you guys. Look around the unit. They're usually right here under the bathroom sink, but some of the units are a little different. But if you do need more toilet paper, try to get RV specific. The dinettes here, they do fold into beds. You can lift this table right up. These poles here will remove, and then the table will sit flat on a little lip here, and you kind of have to do a little bit of a puzzle piece to put the table together into a bed, but they do fold flat. Let's see. Some of these mini blinds in these units, they're typically just pull up and pull down. You don't need to untie anything. Just be careful when you're doing it, and they should just lift up or down for you. But yeah, that's the majority of the stuff that we end up with questions on. Feel free to give us a call or text if you guys do have any further questions. Thank you.